Hello, hello, hello. How we doing on this Sunday, October the 13th? Like yesterday, I'm doing some work. How you doing? I see we've got a few watchers. Let yourself be known. So, yesterday, rather than recording on my lonesome for a new project, I thought I'd go live and record it as I'm doing it. And what that means is, I should have actually found this beforehand, that, let's see, I'm doing a revamp of my app, if you didn't know, and I've got a whole new section to be able to do. Let's see if I can pull this up. Oops. Let's see if this works, so I can actually explain the context. Oops, don't do that. What happens if I just do this? There you go. So this right here is going to be similar to what the app will look like. So we're going to have the hypnosis section, and then, the hypnosis library, custom, long sleep, create your day, audio programs, hypnotic meditations. Now you might know why I do hypnotic meditations on every live stream. They're going to be appearing in here. So that means you get the meditation version, shorter, bit more visually journey-ish. And then in the library, you'll get for a traditional day and night. But on the bottom right-hand corner, look at this, where you got reflections. And reflections, it's going to be 5-10 minute audios, bite-sized information that, how do I get rid of this? I made it way too big. Oh no. Oh, there we go. So it's gonna be like 5-10 minute subjects that you can listen to whenever you want, and it will just be more bite-sized, a bit easier. So rather like 35, 30 minute, 25 minute topics I go into, I'm gonna try to break things down. And that means you can just listen to it as and when you want. So that is what I've been recording in the background until yesterday, but I thought I'd do it live. But no camera, because I'm sitting down. So we're doing it in the void. Hey, is my video freezing? In the void? But there you go. But go ahead and leave a comment, or if you want, need to answer any questions, feel free to let me know your question. You just gotta subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and leave me a question, and we'll go for it. Now, yesterday, I was not happy with one, so I'm gonna redo it. Because I missed a step. But yesterday we did record about taking responsibility, what you want wants you to, root cause not symptoms, rich life, and another one somewhere. Plus the one we're going to redo, which will be the 5 steps. I'll just make sure my audio is all good on the back. Yeah. So what one should we start with right now? What one? Okay, I like this one. I like this one. So there'll be a bit of silence before I start, just so I know when I can edit or when to edit. And then we'll get into it, and then there'll be a bit of silence. I need to make sure I got my timer on this time to stop me from keep on chatting away. So let's go for it. Welcome back to this reflection. In this reflection, it's going to be a short audio on a weird subject. Well, not really weird, but it's going to sound strange in the very beginning, which is ultimately many people aim for perfectionism. Like they just really feel like they've got to do everything perfect. And because of that perfection mechanism we have in our brain, which could have been instilled by our parents, by school, even the expectations we set up for ourselves in forms of getting validation from others. So in other words, getting validation by being successful, it creates a lot of fear, worry, and doubt. And it also has a level of scarcity because we're not quite where we want to be. So if we get into that perfectionism mode, it can actually hinder us in our success. But what if we flip the switch? Like if we just turned it on its head, what would be the opposite of having to do everything perfect? You ready for it? It's going to be called suck less at doing things. Now I know it sounds funny, but it will give us a little bit of a reset in our thinking. You see, if you just suck less every single day at doing a certain action, you're going to get better, and you're also going to start to be more gentle upon yourself. Because you're just going to go, well, today I'm going to just do a little bit better. I'm not going to even aim for the big thing. I'm just going to be better from what I was yesterday. And that will just allow you to have a reframe that causes you to disrupt the strategy that we've been having, that we've got to get everything perfect. But today, I'm just going to suck less at doing this thing. Whether it be life in general, whether it be in your relationship, whether it be in your career, in any context, no matter it be in everything or a specific thing, if you go into it with that mentality, but I'm just going to suck less at it, I'm going to do just less bad, in other words, if you just want to change the word, but just less negative whatever, you are going to be far more gentle on yourself in that process of learning and growing. It's a really good energetic shift. So if you just think about the two, I've got to be perfect. How much intensity of energy does it have when you think about, I've got to be perfect. I need to be perfect. I'm sure it gives a bit of intensity there. But if you now change it to, I'm just going to suck less at doing this. I'm just going to get less bad at doing this thing. Notice how the energy is very much different. Even though we've got a negative word of sucking less or being bad less, or whatever that word is comfortable for you, there is a level of being more gentle, that it doesn't matter, you're just going to improve that bit more. So whether you change the words to that sentence to make it more comfortable for you, it will definitely change the way you create images in your mind. Just the very nature of having to be perfect, of the visuals on the inside, the sounds, the inner critic, the feelings it invokes, compared to just going, I'm just going to suck less today. That's all. And what good news is, if you do that every day, you're going to actually be far more productive and far more successful than having the perfectionism. So let that be your little mantra today, wherever you change the word to make it more comfortable, as I said, but just notice and test it out. I'm just going to suck less. I'm going to do less bad today. And just notice what happens and how you show up in really achieving whatever you set out to do. So that's your reframe for this reflection, and I look forward to speaking to you on a future one. Many thanks and goodbye. Okay, totally forgot to press a timer, but I think it was way under 10 minutes. I really like that reframe. It's really helped me in getting good at things. Because, like, when it comes to my tech, I was thinking about my tech today because I just recently purchased another thing. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I now have a crazy kind of setup in terms of technically 4 cameras, 2 monitors, the audio interfaces, backup mics, and I need this for my profession. But when I think back to when I first started, I was terrible at that stuff. And my mentality at the time, because I couldn't afford the best things, from starting out in the beginning, I was just like, well, how can I make this little improvement? How can I make this picture look less bad? Do I just add a bit of lighting in the background? Do I add a bit of edit to the post-production? So I was kind of taking my whole physical symptom and also my post-production and thinking, how can I make it less bad? And that gradual transformation then began to switch into how can I improve it in a big way, because I was getting more successful and I wanted to invest because I want to be able to do as much as possible in helping people. So it's a nice little mantra. So we can tick that one off the list. And if you have subjects, feel free to let me know, although no one's really here. Because I didn't plan this stream ahead of time, that happens. Where is it? Where is it on my list? Oh, there it is. What other one shall we do? Okay, we can redo the one I want to do. So maybe we'll do that. Hey my friend, welcome back to another reflection. And in this reflection, I want to give you a brief outlay, some steps in how you can produce more success in your life. And there's going to be 5 of them. The first one is all about knowing your outcome. Now it may sound silly because most of us will go, well, I know what I want. I want money, I want freedom, I want a relationship, I want to let go of this issue. But there are some complexities when it comes to gaining outcomes. Number one, a lot of people have goals and goals are hit and miss, so we want to change it to outcome. This is the only outcome I really, really want. But we also want to be able to frame it in the right way, because when people set out outcomes, they usually start off with what they don't want. And that means, I mean, we can understand why, because we don't want whatever that is, like our present situation, or we don't want anxiety, we don't want the imposter syndrome, we don't want the extra weight, we don't want another bad relationship. But when we say those things, we're causing our mind to look for more of the same. So we do want to switch the focus onto the positive outcome. And the analogy that I have for that is this. Now most cars have this, if not your phone does. Whenever you go into your car, you want to go somewhere you don't know, you're going to probably use your satellite navigation, your GPS, whether it be in Google Maps or whatever one you use. And you're going to do what first? You're going to put in your destination. Now, you don't put in all the destinations you do not want to go to, right? Because if you did, you'd have to visit every city, every village, every county, every landmark where you don't want to go in order to try to get to where you want to go. So it's very important, just like a GPS, that our mind should be on the destination, not where we do not want to go. So always have it in the positive. And a good little thing there, so we're not always so strict on our goals. You can have that goal. I love following up with this sentence. I want this or something better. This or something better. When you have that mindset, you're opening yourself up for the outcome, but you're also open for something greater than the outcome that you can't maybe even imagine, but you're open to it in every single way. So knowing our outcome is going to be number one, always in the positive. Number two is about taking action. Many people, especially when it comes to things like hypnosis, we're very much into the esoteric maybe, or the alternative. And we can get into the mindset of just manifestation. And although I'm all cool with it, with the law of attraction, it must be followed up with the law of action. Actually doing something. You can wish, but if you're not willing to do anything about it, you're not going to really get that. So we must define certain action steps in order to get to where we want to be. And I call it taking inspired action. Because when you feel inspired to do it, it feels good. When it starts to get into resentment, like in an action, you're going to start to self-sabotage yourself. In fact, some people say, how many times can I listen to hypnosis? And I say, as long as it feels good. Like, if you're listening to hypnosis and you're dreading it, take a break. It's okay. So you do want to be inspired. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do the hard things, because the hard work is going to be important. But the more you can be inspired, purposeful, passionate about that, you're going to be congruent with the outcome. So you're knowing the outcome and you're enjoying the level of getting there. And you can combine number one and number two by, if you think of the outcome you want, what feeling will it give you once you've achieved it? And then think of actions which are in alignment of that feeling. Because then you're like, I'm feeling the outcome, the essence, the feeling behind the successful completion. And that inspires you to do more of the same, of trying, or not trying, because that's a negative word, because try means tried. Comes from tried anyway. We're going to be doing actions which will lead us there. Now the third step, let's say we know our outcome, we're feeling that feeling of having achieved it and taking massive inspired action to get there, and we're not feeling resentful. The next part is to have awareness. And what I mean by awareness is this. You have to be aware of the results that you're getting. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, they say it's the definition of insanity. Because expecting a different outcome, doing the same thing all the time, is never going to get you there. So you have to become very, very conscious of the results of the actions you're getting. Is it yielding the kind of the interest gained from the action? Is it promoting and developing you? Is it getting closer to where you are? Or sorry, from where you are to where you want to be? Because most of the time we don't. We just do the things unconsciously, and then we suddenly realize, oh my goodness, weeks, months, and a year's gone by and I still haven't achieved my outcome. So yes, be aware of the actions that you're taking, monitor them. You see, my brother, Daniel, is amazing at that. He's just so good at habit tracking, just noticing the differences it makes in his life. I'm not that good at it. I'm more free flowing, but I'm very much aware of the results on a conscious level. But even if you have to be like him and just mapping things out, where am I? Have I improved from yesterday? How much so? I like to sometimes think of it when I work my one-to-one people, that every time I see them, it's usually just the 3-4 times to get the outcome. But when I see them, I go, if you could imagine you were 0 when you first met, and now we want to be at 100%, where would you put yourself? And they might go, well, I'm 50% there. And I go, great. What's the remaining 50% we need to work on? And you want to be able to think about it like that. So yes, know your outcome in a positive. Feel the feeling of that most of the time and take massive, inspired, purposeful, and passionate actions, but be very consciously aware of the results that you're getting, because they can then refine, which leads us into the next one, which is the law of requisite variety. And what that really means is the personal assistant with the most adaptability, the most flexibility, tends to control the situation the most. To paint a picture, we can think about our species, how many species have not survived because they weren't able to adapt to their environment quick enough. In other words, to evolve in that situation or to move or change. So unfortunately, they died off. But those who were adaptable to the environment the most became the most fruitful in their success, and also leaving a legacy of future parts of them, in other words, their offspring for generations to come. So if we just take that as an analogy, we must also apply that into our mindset. How adaptable do we have to be? Are we willing to be resilient? Are we willing to learn? Because there will be many times when you're going to your outcome, you're going to get no's, you're going to get failures, or so-called failures, which will soon change. We're going to make mistakes. But the no's, the failures, and the lack of successes will usually tend to stop us, but we got to ask ourselves, how can I learn from this? And that follows from the awareness, right? We're aware that something's not working, and now we're starting to be adaptable. We're going to start to have that behavioral flexibility in the mind as well to be able to change that situation. But that's how most people are very successful, by the way. It doesn't come easy to them, but it was their willingness to be open to learn and grow. Sometimes I like to ask myself, where am I? Am I learning? Am I actually ready to learn? Am I ready and open? Who am I listening to? And all those kind of things. And that really, really helps me. Once again, it follows on the awareness. But then after the awareness, we want to be adaptable and flexible to evolve from the no's or from the so-called mistakes, because if we turn them into learnings, they can be our greatest ally in improving and actually getting to our outcome. Now, the last one is this. We've got to get our mind and body, our psychology, our physiology, into a mindset of excellence. And what I mean by that in this case is you've got to monitor your thoughts. Are they geared and directed to your outcome? Are we falling into scarcity? Are we falling into fear? Are we comparing ourselves to others compared to comparing ourselves to where we've been, but we're learning and growing? Are we believing in other people's opinions? Are we doing the quiet work that no one sees? All of those things. You've got to get your mindset in the right place. The highest frequency and vibration of your positivity will actually be more in tune with the outcome, because the outcome that you desire is positive. And that means if you are operating from that adaptability, but with that positive psychology and physiology, you are now becoming aligned with the goal. So what can you do to get yourself into that? Well, you can listen to the hypnosis sessions, number one. I would definitely wake up in the morning, listen to a Create Your Day. It's going to set you up for success. And then you can start to learn by the day hypnosis or the sleep or the 4-hour sleep one for whatever you're going through. Get a bit of anxiety, listen to a one on anxiety. Bit of imposter syndrome, listen to the imposter syndrome. Keep your mind in the game to get the outcome. So number one, we've got to know our outcome. We've then, on the positive outcome, of course, like the satellite navigation metaphor and analogy, we've got to take massive inspired action. We've got to be aware of the results. With that awareness, we've got to be adaptable and flexible so we can evolve and learn from them, because they'll be our greatest ally in success. And then we have to operate from that psychology and physiology of excellence as much as possible most of the time. Yes, we're human, but we're still in charge of our mind, ultimately. And if you're not, you listen to the hypnosis to regain that control. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to speaking to you on a future reflection. Many thanks, and goodbye. Hey Eric, great to have you here. So I'm just walking and recording these mini audios, which will be for the new big app update. Not so secret anymore, having said it on these live streams. I was here yesterday as well for about 90 minutes doing it. But I figured, why not work and go live? So the reflection here, these are going to be like 5-10 minute audios that are going to be more bite-sized and quick, but you can just listen as and when you want. So there you go. So yeah, I just thought I'd get on here, and do them live. Why not? And that, when I was here live yesterday, that was when I did, and I wasn't very happy at all. So I did it again. And I'm very happy. I'm happy with that one. I liked it. Helps I actually remember the step. Well, hello there, Jen. Great to see you here. No flying around today. I'm pleased to know that you are nice and dry in Florida and safe. So if you just got here, I am doing 5-10 minute recordings, which I'll edit in post-production, and they're going to be on my new section category of the app called Reflections. But we're flying through it. So just marking it off my list. So I wonder what else we should record while I'm here. Well, we could do this one. I gotta fully remember it. Or we could do some other ones as well, actually. Let me see. Yeah. Let's do this other one first. I'm gonna quickly hydrate, and then I'll get back into it. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. I did a nice 3-mile hike today. I was actually looking for it was really, really high. I got to the elevation of 961 feet today. Kinda. I got to that height. I didn't start at that height because I had to drive up a little bit, but my app says I got that high. But it was nice. It was hard work. It was steep, which I haven't done for a while. Right. Let's get to it. I just silent myself for a second. Hey my friend, welcome back to another reflection, and in this reflection is going for you to be conscious of those that are around you in your life. Now, Jim Rohn once said that we are the sum of the 5 people closest in our life, or the ones we spend the most time with. So it doesn't have to be like closest and relative, but just the people we spend the most time with. Now, we're going to change that up a little bit. We're going to add a version, a layer to what I like to think about, which will kind of just double the importancy. But I want you to think about it like that. If you consider the 5 closest people that you spend the most time with, what are the characteristics they have? Their personality types. Do they lift us up? Do they bring us down? Are they negative? Are they positive? Do they have good, strong values? Or are they people who may lie or let you down? Are they nice to us? Are they nice to other people? Do they have a good heart? These are the type of questions I like to ask myself, and I promise you, the people I surround myself, they're not going to be perfect, right? So we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for quality. in who they are. Because if you're surrounding yourself with people who are negative, that will bring you down. If they are they could be even saying words about you to bring you down. Like, even, look, it's probably not even their fault. It's just maybe what they went through, what they experienced, and what they were told. Maybe they were told that never amount to much. So therefore, their mentality is no one's gonna make it to or amount to much, and therefore, when they speak, it rubs off on you, or even if it's more directed at you. If you're going to surround yourself with that kind of energy, if you just think of it in an energetic way, just so you can weigh up the energy or the weight of it, you could say as well, does it make you feel good? Because if they are negative, they're not going to make you feel good, ultimately, right? We're going to start to be doubtful, resentful, negative, pessimistic. We're going to have less hope or faith or belief. We're going to assume their reality to be true, their subjective reality. Now, for some of you, you might be thinking there's some people in my life I cannot let go. Because I'm kind of hardcore. I only really want positive people. Like I said, they haven't got to be perfect, but they've got to be willing to be positive, and they're willing to learn and want to grow, because that's the kind of person that I want to be, and that's who I am. I want to be surrounded by those people who inspire me. And even if they have issues, which they do, and I coach them and they may help me and so on, that's all good as well. But there's that willingness to be good still, right? They're not just having excuses and reasons. That's just me. I might be super hardcore there. But let's just say you have people in your life who you cannot let go of, or you just decide that you do not want to. So like maybe a family member, you don't want to really cut them off from your reality. Well, there's a couple of things you can do. You can limit, or you can, in other words, you can subtract or add. Now, you don't want to completely subtract, let's just say you want them in your life still, but there's going to be some things that you will choose to limit your time or limit the content. For limit the content, because the time is pretty easy in terms of explanation, you see them less, but limit the content is how much you share with them. So if you're sharing your dreams and you know they're going to cut you down, don't share your dreams with them. If they are very, say, political, maybe you don't want to go talk about politics. Choose your words and subjects lightly. And therefore, you can have a good and better relationship if there is someone that you do not want to let go of. Then we've got the adding. The adding is weighing things up in a scale basis. So if you have some weighing scales, let's say on the negative is on the one scale is weighing you all down because that person's really negative. Well, how do we even that out? Well, on the other side, the other scale, we've got to put some weight there. And that's when we start to add people into our life. So look for people who support you. Look for people who have the same values and qualities. And that's going to really help you. So if you want to get richer, hang around with nice, wholesome, rich people. If you want to be in a great relationship, notice people who have great relationships, because they're the kind of people you want to learn from. But in the same way that you've got to be willing to give as much as you learn from as well. Because if you think of the sum of 5, don't you want to be the one great person of their 5 in their life as well, so it works both ways? And then finally, to finish this off, as I said, we'll just go one deeper level, and that is we've got the sum of the 5 people, but then we've got the sum of our physical environment as well. So sometimes if you are surrounded in the negative environment in itself, just like the physical environment, you want to be conscious of that. Even from as easy as it is to not understand, like the tidiness of our environment. It's not going to be that productive. Even if it's the devices that we have. So that could be like social media, it could be phone, it could be doom scrolling. Are you becoming the sum of that social media that you're putting your time into? Because the algorithm will reflect back in getting your attention. So sometimes you got to cut that off or start looking for other subjects on social media. And I'll give you a quick example. I've looked at one video of like a pet being saved, and suddenly I got a ton of them and I don't like watching them, and that makes me want to watch the end to make sure they're all nice and healthy, because in the beginning they don't look that way. So I had to like reset the algorithm, because I just don't want that attention in my life. I want to be able to focus on things which are going to really help and support me. And like I said, I'd like to get to the end of those so I know that they're okay, because I'm a sensitive like that. I want to make sure they're okay. But I also need to make sure that I don't have the news on my phone, that went years ago, or anything which is going to take away my time and energy, of the sum of my energy. So yes, we've got the sum of the 5, but also we've got the sum of our environment, where it be the digital environment. So become conscious of these, because that means you can be lifted up. And remember, if you're going to have the sum of 5, which is good and great mostly, make sure you're the positive one in their sum of 5 as well. It should be a lifting up relationship, friendship in every single way. I look forward to speaking to you in a future reflection. Many thanks and goodbye. There we go. Another reflection done. The whole time I've been saying I'm going to use my stopwatch, and I have not used it once, so that one went a little bit longer. But I liked it. I like that a lot. So let's get it off the list. Sum of 5. Complete. So I think that's 2 down. Do you find it harder to do hikes due to the higher altitude? No, but one thing which I haven't listened to hypnosis-wise, I get a bit, I haven't got a track for vertigo, but I do get a bit of vertigo when I'm up high. So I've got to sort that out, because I do like going up there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get maybe that. I don't know though, I'm not a professional. But yeah, I don't notice it. I notice it like the steepness of just the pain in the muscles, in terms of like just like the stretch. Where I am, I'm only like 400 to 800 feet above the sea level. Age makes hiking harder. Yep. I've definitely become more conscious of my running and hiking. So these days I'm doing more walks and then a little bit of jogging, because I just don't want to have an injured back. And I don't want my knees to go funny, because everyone says that, don't they? Like the cartilage. So yeah. But as long as I'm out and about in the sun, listening to things. But I am getting into some trail running. So next weekend, we're going to go on a trail run in nature. And it's not, last time we did it, we went up to 800 feet. And that was kind of cool. And the good thing about going up is you got to come back down. So it's a lot easier. It's better than running down than having to run all the way up to get to where you want to be. So this Saturday, that was a higher one, but this coming Saturday is going to be more lower level, but it's going to be trail running, which is kind of cool. The person I was with kind of said they kind of feel like a kid, like just running around, because it's like a bit uneven and things like that. So I think that's why it's pretty good. You're just kind of running free. Right, should we do another one? What one do I want to do now? Let's see. Oh, I've been streaming that long, my music stopped. There we go. What should we do now? Okay, we'll do this one. I didn't think about that one. Hey my friend, welcome back to another reflection, and this reflection is going to be how to get your mind, your unconscious mind, on your side to create the best day that you truly desire. And you can use this experience for anything. It could be for your whole day. It could be for a certain event coming up. So maybe it's an interview, maybe it's going on a date, whether it be an athletic thing you're doing, whatever it may be. This idea, you wanted to make it specific though, right? But it can be generalized throughout your whole day. And it's really about pre-teaching your unconscious mind. Most of the time, we just get up and go with anxious thoughts, worries and doubts, in all what could go wrong. That is the unprepared mind, and that is what we just do most of the time, and no wonder why we have anxiety, imposter syndrome, depression, fears, phobias, doubts, all of that stuff, the self-sabotaging behavior, because we're not prepared. You would never go on a big journey somewhere, like say you're going for a crazy big hike and have no preparation. You want to know where you're going. You may want to have some water with you, right? You want to be able to treat that as the same psychology. But how do we do that? But before we get to the how, your mind, if you are experiencing worries and doubts because you haven't got the day that you want, or you got something coming up and you're anxious about it, that anxiety is going to focus on all the things that you don't want. So what we're going to do is do the reverse anxiety process. And it's quite simple, really. It's about focusing not on what you don't want, but what you do want. So with that, here's what we do. If you could imagine in your mind, you don't have to do this very, very visually, but if you can, sure. But if you're not that visual like me, then it still works. But in your mind, I want you to consider maybe the thing you'd like to achieve, whether it be the whole day or a certain part of your day or a certain event coming up. But when I say imagine, you want to be able to watch and observe yourself doing and succeeding in the thing that you need success in. Now, the reason why we want to be dissociated, in other words, seeing yourself in that movie achieving, it creates dissociation, which takes away negative feelings. So you're pre-teaching the unconscious mind not to have feelings. In the case of the anxiety, right? So we're just observing, and the fact that we're doing it in a positive, you're just pre-teaching your unconscious mind how to be, as if it's already going for it. Now, if you want to do it really good, you'd go into the situation looking through your own eyes at the successful completion and just rewind it really, really quickly back. And then you would open your eyes and then go ahead and observe once again, as if you're watching that you go throughout that whole day or throughout that whole event that you're thinking of, all the way to the successful completion, and then you step inside that you right at the end, looking through your own eyes, and rewind it all the way back. If you do that a number of times, say 5 or 10 times, you are pre-teaching your unconscious mind as if it's happened. The unconscious mind finds it very, very hard to tell the difference between what is real and what is imagination. That is why you can watch a movie and you could be so immersed in it, feel all the feelings of the character, if it's a horror or whatever it may be, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm feeling it, because your neurology is actively engaged in it. It could be the same thing for a book, right? Our unconscious mind finds it terribly hard to dissociate between what is real and what is imagined. So if we can utilize this process, and yes, you are making the unconscious conscious by becoming consciously aware and directing it to what you want, it's going to be able to then reproduce it. It's almost as if it's already been done in the future. And therefore your unconscious mind will know that it doesn't need to focus on what you don't want. Like in the beginning, we didn't have any preparation, and now we're stranded thinking about all the things we don't want. But now we're prepared. We've rehearsed it in our mind and are dissociated. And by the way, at the end, when we step inside and rewind back, that's a reassociation as if it's already happened. It's like a future memory. And therefore, your unconscious mind will be aligned. So if you want to be able to do the reverse anxiety, pre-teach your unconscious mind exactly like I said. 5-10 times, maybe more if you need it, but it'll be a great investment. When it comes to that, in fact, you can also use one of my Create Your Days, because those audios are for that, and you can utilize it, because there's lots of them there, in the specific context. Or you can just do it by yourself. Sometimes it's nice to be handheld through it, rather trying to do it in your own mind. That's why you listen to hypnosis, because it's hard to do hypnosis for ourselves, right? It's hard to bypass our own conscious and unconscious, but someone else can. That's why those Create Your audios are there, and in general, the hypnosis. So I hope you got value from that. Pre-teach your unconscious mind so you get the success that you desire without anxiety, worry, and doubt. With that, I look forward to speaking to you in a future reflection. Many thanks, and goodbye. Okay, that was another one done. I'm just going to take a few minutes because I got a phone call, so I'll be right back. And I'm back. That was Mel asking me a technical question. So, if you just got here, I'm working about 4 minutes ago. I just finished another mini audio, which is going to go into the app. A new section of the app called Reflections right there. And like 5-10 minute audios, breaking things down quickly for whenever you need them. And I want to try to do like one a day, but my time is so busy. I want to make sure that I've got them pre-done. So I've done about 15. I came on here live yesterday and did 5. I'd already done 5 when I wasn't live, and I've just done 3 now. Which one did I just do? I need to take it off my list. Oh, pre-teaching, wasn't it? I don't even think that was on my list. I think I just thought of it. Let's add it to it. Oh no, it was on my list. Or was it? No. Yes, it was. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. Yeah, exactly. I like it because you can kind of just stop, take a break, and then get going again. The only thing is, if you take a tumble, you're tumbling. And that's where I've been today. If I did take, I wouldn't be running there, but if I did take a tumble, I'm falling down like 200 feet and rolling all the way down through bushes and rocks, probably past a few coyotes, maybe a lion mountain. So I don't like my chances of trail running in some places where I am. So yeah, I'm just recording here and there. If you have questions along the way, feel free to put a question in and I'll answer it while I'm here. But I've been streaming now for 60 minutes, which is usually longer than my other streams. But why not do another one? Working on a Saturday and a Sunday. This was meant to be my weekend off. And I've chosen to work yesterday, setting up my streams, which I'd have done anyway, and then come on here live. I did about 90 minutes yesterday, so not a full day work. But what shall we do? Okay, I've got one. Let me hydrate and I'll get back to recording. Hey my friend, welcome back to another reflection. And in this one I think you're going to find pretty important, especially if you have a dream or a goal in your life. You must protect your dream and goal as much as possible, because you're going to really have your own challenges when it comes to your own goal, because you haven't got it. So there might be some scarcity, there might be some worry and some doubt. So you're starting off with maybe some excitement, but with some potential anxieties. Am I good enough to achieve that? What if I fail? All of those things. So it's going to be pretty tricky in the very, very beginning. But if you add another element to it, what most people do, when you have a dream, you like to share your dream with those in your life. That's where we got to really protect our dream. You see, if I shared a dream with someone who does not believe in my dream, because maybe they don't believe it in their own capacity, let alone even if they didn't believe I could purposely do it, they're going to cut me down and go, who are you to have that dream? Who are you to be able to do that? You will never make it. Do you know how hard it is to do this? And now you're being hypnotized through their words, and it's just going to make it so much harder. It reminds me when I first started doing hypnosis. I remember it clearly. I was in my car with my best friend, and I said, I think I'm gonna do this hypnosis for a living, because I really like helping people. And the first set of words out of his mouth were, do you really think you can make a living out of it? It's gonna be crazy hard. I don't think you can really be a full-time hypnotherapist. And as an 18-year-old, I could have gone, you're right, there's so many more people out there experienced, maybe it's hard to do, got to get good at business, marketing. And I could have just stopped there. And if I did stop there, and by the way, I had other people say similar types of things because it was just outside of their awareness. They didn't know any other full-time hypnotists or coaches and things like that. So therefore, they're going to place doubt in my mind because they had doubt in their mind, or it could be about their own ability. So I could have gone, that's it. I'm not going to do it. And therefore, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing for a living now, having reached over 20 million people, 20 million downloads and views. if I took on that, if I did not protect my dream, that dream of doing what I'm doing, which by the way is way more than I could ever imagine. Back then I just wanted to be a full-time hypnotherapist, and now I've done so much more than that. But if I did believe in that limiting thought, I would have just stopped. Thankfully I didn't in my case. But the message and the meaning here is, if you have a dream, protect it. Share it with those who will support you. Because if you begin to share it with other people, and I'll get to it if you haven't got any good people in your life to share the dream with, it's still okay. But if you are going to share it wisely. Those who are going to nurture the dream, not be toxic toward the dream. And it's not necessarily their fault, by the way. Maybe they were told that they're not good enough and worthy or deserving, so therefore it's just their psychology, and therefore they have that perception on everyone. So it's a bit like money, right? So if you want to be really abundant, but if someone believes money is the root of all evil, or it goes as quickly as it comes, and you talk about how much money you want, they're going to go, well, it's just the root of all evil. And they've been programmed that way. Maybe their dad or mum told them that. Maybe their dad or mum were told by their mum and dad. We don't know how far the generations go by. So really, really protect it. Now, I did say what will happen if you haven't got positive people. Number one, try to find them. You want to make sure that you're surrounded with people who will lift you up, and you will lift them up. But if you can't, do something what I kind of think I thought about as a sentence, because it is what I do, is do the quiet work that no one sees. That means you do not share your dream, you just do the work. Just do the work until you get the tangible results, where the evidence of that tangible results are impossible to be denied by the doubter. You see, if I didn't say it, or if I just became a hypnotherapist, then my friend would be like, oh my goodness, you can be a hypnotherapist. Or if you wanted X amount of money per year and you do get that money, then you share that, yeah, I earn this amount. Not that we should always share how much we earn, but let's just say in this analogy, then they go, oh my goodness, you can make that much money per year. They just didn't have the evidence to be able to know if it was possible or not. And the only way you can get the evidence in that case is for you to create the evidence by not sharing your dream whatsoever, by doing the quiet work that no one sees. That's a great way of protecting, because there's going to be lots of people, it's going to be a hard enough journey as it is, getting to your goals and dreams or letting go of issues. It can take time, but we don't want the added element of negativity of bringing you down by sharing a dream who will not support it. So support it with those who will share and love that dream with you. If not, and I should say as well, do the quiet work to, if there are any negativity with that, that's going to get you the results. Get the evidence that it's possible, then you can share it, because it's now been a success. So I hope you enjoyed that reflection. It's really, really powerful for me. I do the quiet work that no one sees. A lot of people believe that I couldn't do what I've been doing. All of these things. And it's because I don't share it. I share the things I want to share with the people. I protect what I want to share with people. So I hope you enjoyed that reflection, and I look forward to speaking to you in a future one. Many thanks, and goodbye. Another reflection done. Protect your dream. Do the quiet work that no one sees. That's a good one to have. That's a good one to have. Especially for doing what you're doing. Hepping away. Hep. So if you don't know people, Jen flies through the air doing crazy cool trapeze stuff. And when I first came to San Diego, I went into the mountain countryside. It was crazy. Because the person I was seeing at the time did flying trapeze kind of stuff. And I went with her. And this guy, he was a crazy guy as well. And weird thing though, one of the crazy guy was cool. He was this like old guy, but kind of like, it had a bit of like a Duck Dynasty kind of feel. Not that I've watched that program, by the way. I have seen elements of it. So he's like this kind of country kind of person. But funny enough, one of the instructors actually knew of my work when they kind of knew, which is kind of weird because that doesn't happen often at all. But anyway, I've then learned the word hep because you kind of fly on the trapeze and jump down and you gotta let go and trust the person. And I was saying that to Jen here in the chat ages ago because that's what she does. So falling is not an option. Hey Karen, great to have you here. So I am working and talking between working. I'm not on camera because I'm sitting down because I was going to work and do this, so I thought I'd just go live and do it. So there's going to be for many even, for my new section of the app. I know I keep bringing this up, but I feel like if people are just joining, they're like, what the hell is happening here? So there's a new section of the app. There's what's going to look like. There's reflections. And I wanted the reflection section to be just like 5-10 minute audios that you can listen to on certain subjects. So, you know, like my podcast, I do the hypnosis meditations and the general hypnosis, and I do power talks. I wanted to try to take some of those subjects and just put them into micro, digestible, bite-sized topics of 5-10 minutes. And that means you can just listen to a quick one as you go. So far, I've talked about the Sum of 5 today, keys to success, like 5 quick things we can apply. One called suck less. Rather being a perfectionist, you just suck less at doing something. Just get less bad at it. Then I also did protect your dream and pre-teach. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Oh, Amina's here as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I've been streaming now for 71 minutes, more than my other streams. In the void.
I'm in the void. Help, I'm in the void. Oh no. I'm in the void. Maybe I should do a podcast one day like this. So go ahead and get yourself in a nice, comfortable position. That's right. Help! I'm in the void. Oh, actually got a better one. Ready? Because a void would have an echo. Oh, where is it? Help, 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 help. I'm in the void. Oh no. Is anyone there? I'm stuck in the void. Oh dear. What am I to do in the void? So yeah. I'm in the void. So go ahead and relax.
So yeah. That's far more appropriate being in the void when I'm not on camera.
Help, I'm in the void. Oh no. Is anyone there?
There you go. So, should we do another one? We're in a flow state. Oh, really? Yeah, that would freak me out as well. Is that the old school one? I guess it is, because as you said, as a kid, so yeah, not the latest one. Just the intro of that used to freak me out. I don't think it was really in England that much, but I do remember it. I remember was it the mannequin one in like the clothing store? Don't they get turned into a mannequin? Or they come alive? Trying to think of what others, it's been so long. Another one which used to freak me out as a kid, but I always really liked it. I just saw on Netflix they've got, I think they've done it a while ago, but Unsolved Mysteries, that used to freak me out as a kid. I don't know why I was watching it as a kid. Just like the intro music to it. But I did enjoy it at the same time though. Yeah. I watched the mannequin one only a few years ago. But Unsolved Mysteries, which would be more
Unsolved Mysteries. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. I can't remember what it says now.
I'd use my voice for the Twilight Zone for that one. Boys send people to the call. Oh, I don't know if I have or not. Yeah, it was crazy cool.
You are about to enter another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into the wondrous land of imagination. The next stop, the Twilight Zone.
I think that voice would be more appropriate.
Or this one. Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries was
A favorite. I used to watch that like Sunday evenings in England. Right, should we do another one? Yeah, that voice. I actually named that one Monster. And this is the megaphone, as we all know.
Or this one, the robot.
Alright, we should be walking. But I do like these chill streams. Just talking. In the pandemic, me, Kevin Michael Reed, and Grim used to just be like talking and walking, all virtually. And it's a bit like that. Okay, I gotta do another one before I finish. And have a bit of my weekend back. Belief is the... See the ones I've got? I've got a belief is the enemy of knowing. All change is unconscious. Compound interest. Stoicism. Find your why. I might do that one. questions to get clear, too much information, or the I am broken myth. What to do? I am broken myth, or finding your why, or getting things done. I wonder what one I'll do. I'm gonna take just a 30-second break to hydrate. Oh, actually, another one. I was actually listening to it today. If you go onto like Apple Podcast, Art Bell. Does anyone remember Art Bell? On the radio. I don't even know how I remember it as a kid, because I don't know how I even got to England. But it's the last few years been re-listening to the Art Bell show. It's kind of cool, especially when I used to go up to Vegas in the desert. It's always kind of dark at night on a very dark road listening to Art Bell. Oh, you do? Yeah, I think you've said that before, actually, right? But if you go to Spotify podcasts, you've got pretty much every one of them there. So I've been listening to Mad Man. I can't remember what it was called now, but he interviews a guy who believed he created a time machine, but before he could do it, he took out the whole 2 blocks of power because he had a lot of energy. Yeah, there you go. Midnight in the Desert. Coast to Coast, or Ghost to Ghost, depending on the season. And Dream World, I think, was the other one, or Dreamland, maybe. It's all good. It's fun, keeps it exciting. But yeah, it's all on podcast app. As is my work as well, if anyone's listening. Anyway, I'm going to be working now. So, which one was I going to choose? Okay. I've got a 1 minute break in a silence so I know when to edit on the next one in post-production. So, back in 1 minute. Hey my friend, welcome back to another reflection. And in today's reflection, we're talking about reasons. You see, many of us have goals and dreams, but we don't necessarily have the unconscious leverage to make them a reality. Because we might go, I want more money as a goal, right? If I gave you $1, €1, £1, you would have achieved your goal. And you'd be like, no, I want more than that. And even when you think about that, you don't even want that specifically because you want what money will give you, right? Say you want freedom, you want security, you want adventure, you want the nice things, you want to be able to support or contribute in your family or your community. So usually our outcomes are a gateway to something so much more that we are not always consciously aware of because we're just fixated on the outcome. And on this, so let's just say we've got an outcome, this is what I want, but we've got no unconscious leverage But what we do have in the negative is a lot of doubt, worry, and fear that we can ever get that outcome. So now we're actually at a negative. So if we just had the outcome of no positive, no negative, we're neutral. But if you've got a lot of scarcity, worries, and fears and doubts, you're going to have a lot of negative, a lot of lag pulling you back from ever getting your goals, like a weight on you. And what I mean by that, you might have reasons as to not go for that goal. Because what if I fail? What if I get found out? What if I trip up? What if I succeed? How's that going to change things? Is my friends going to change? Are my partner going to see me differently? There's lots of negatives to every outcome, by the way, that we don't always see. So it's sometimes good to get clear on the negative and go, I'm at peace with them, or to mitigate the risk of those. So you're pre-planned. So that's another audio for a different day. But most of the time when we have an outcome, we have it as an objective idea, a simplistic sentence or an idea in our mind, what we think it means, but we have a lot of this negative lag. So how can we change that? How can we get the unconscious mind to leverage what we really want? Well, this is what I always do with my clients. So when people enter my program, we find the hidden root cause of what's getting in the way. But one thing I always get them to do is to notice the outcome, but come up with 100 reasons as to why you want this goal. Now, you might be thinking 100 reasons? Well, first of all, if you really want the goal, you can do 100 reasons. Even if it takes you a reason a day, or actually more than that, like 5 reasons a day, you're going to get there pretty quickly. But what this does, it gets you more than the goal itself. So if we could go down the money example, I want money, but why do we want money? And you can go, well, so that means I can have freedom to do this. I can have security. I can have a great experience with my partner. I can have a great experience with my children. I can help people in my community. Like, what are the effects of achieving that goal? Those are the reasons as to why you want what you want. And there's going to be many of them. But they're not going to be consciously aware until you shine a light upon them. But when you start to shine a light of beyond the outcome, and if it helps, go ahead and imagine achieving your outcome and notice how your life is different, how you show up differently, what you do is differently, and what you receive is differently. What you have in your life is different, and jot those down. If you come up with 100 reasons, you're now telling your unconscious mind, I just don't want the goal, I want what the goal would give me. And now there's energy. We've now got a weight in the other direction of going, this is why I want what I want. So if you are wanting to achieve any sum of money, if you want your career, if you want that kind of relationship, with relationships, you could go, well, what's important to me in a relationship? What's the relationship going to get me? It's going to get me trust. It's going to get me intimacy. It's going to get me connection, companionship, experiences. And what does that mean? And if you want to go further, if you find it hard, you go, what else does that mean? So if I had intimacy, what does that mean? And you're going to come up with other reasons. It's almost like spiraling out from a reason into many more reasons. But now when you look at your outcome and you've got those 100 reasons, now it feels like, this is why I want what I want. It's not just a word now or a sentence. It's not just this intangible idea or thought or dream, but it has substance behind this, and that actually motivates you on a conscious level because you'll be noticing things you didn't even think about because 100 reasons is a lot. But on top of that, now your unconscious mind is aware of those reasons, and now it's going to start to pivot and move toward it. Yes, if you have resistance, you want to work on that resistance. So if you have limiting fears, worries, or doubts in your own identity and belief system, listen to a hypnosis session depending on what you're working on. But if you have the 100 reasons, it's going to aid you and pull you far forward than ever not having any reason other than what you think. You really got to get clear on that. So make that on your to-do list that you're ready to come up with 100 reasons to any endeavor, and it's going to super motivate your unconscious mind. It's going to be a multiplier of energy, a multiplier of motivation, and you're going to really understand why you want what you want, rather just ambiguously considering why you want what you want. It's really, really powerful. So I hope you enjoyed that reflection. Dive into the hypnosis if you have any of that resistance, but get those 100 reasons down. I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye. Another one down. My music has stopped twice because I've been streaming this long. I never play this soundtrack for this long. Because usually do hypnosis, I guess, but twice. I've been streaming for an hour and a half now on this Sunday, so thank you for being here for those who are here. I am recording bite-sized information. Oh, that was the wrong one. For the new version of my app coming out very, very soon. It's going to be reflections. You can see it. Here's what it's going to look like, by the way. Similar to this. There's my design in the beginning. And the reflections there are going to be bite-sized audios, which I'll be updating every week, every couple of days, maybe every day. And they're going to be all mainly under 10 minutes. But they're going to be certain subjects, things I think about throughout the day. I'm going to jot down and then speak about them and see if you can apply them. So if I learn new things, if I observe new things, or if I remember old things, I'm going to just put them into a 5-10 minute audio bite size so you can just take it, see if it kind of resonates and apply it into your life and go from there. I like it. And if you got the app, I'm going to probably send push notifications to them. So it'd be like a daily reminder or every other reminder to kind of check in, listen to something, upgrade your mind. Yeah. It's good learning for me as well because I talk so long. Which is fine. I like talking for like an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes on a subject. But it's teaching me to kind of be far more concise, which I think is a good learning for me. Because that one thing I like to try to take the can't even say the complicated word complicated. So the complicated ideas or the complexity, my brain's starting to go and shut down. But I like to take complex things and try to break it down. That's like my little mission for myself, and then try to teach it. So there's just another level of me trying to learn. Take big ideas. I mean, that one wasn't quite a big idea, but a good little subject. And try to be concise and specific in a very short period. I did not. Day of the Triffids. Day of the Triffids. Oh my goodness. When you said old, I don't think you mean, or maybe I'm looking at the book. 1963 is still very old though. That is old. Interesting. It's a bit like that Sandra Bullock movie, when they all go blind, based on what Internet Movie Database says. Yeah, it looks pretty crazy. It's got a bit of a premise of that modern movie. I can imagine. It looks very English. Maybe not though. Maybe it is American. Old time English. Right, should we leave it there? It said I went live at 10 to 3. And it's now almost 4:30 where I am. But we did well. Gotta click that off the list. So far we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I got stacked up to go. So that's pretty good. And that's what, 180 minutes of content or less, depending. 5 to 10, probably about 8 minutes on average. But I gotta edit all this as well, which is gonna be fun. I need to come up with like a sound or kind of click my finger so I know when I'm about to. So when I edit and I've made a mistake, I click a finger, it creates a spike on the audio file. So I'm seeing the graph and the peaking of my voice or the depth or sounds. And if you click, it's a one big spike, so I know that's where the chapter is or that's where the start of an audio is. I should have really done that. But it's not that good for your ears if you hear me clicking my fingers. For all the thousands and thousands of people on this stream, like the 6 of us. So there we go, it is coming out to 4:30, we'll probably leave it there. Unless anyone has any questions. I don't want to be lost in the void forever.
Help, help, help. I'm in the void. Oh dear. Where am I? Hello? 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 Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
Yeah. But it's kind of cool going live and working at the same time recording. Because I'm listening to chill music. Yeah, it is. I like it. I kind of like I recreated it this morning. Because I had an error on yesterday's one. I might add some more energetic ones. But let me see. I like this one. I like this one. But it is pretty cool as well. I think that's more voidish. It sounds like there's a face in there. Does that look like a face? Strange. It's definitely in the void. We'll go to my favorite one as we close off the show. The live stream, I should say. This one. There we go. Because it looks like the earth, but also I was thinking it looks a bit like the yin yang kind of symbol. I don't know why, because you can't really see it. But it kind of represents like a wholeness. But there you go. Although I'm not quite happy with the quality of the HD of this one. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to end it here. Thank you for joining me as I've been working. Hopefully you found those little bits and bobs helpful. Nice. It is very cool in terms of the meaning behind it. Like, there's a bit of each other in the whole of the yin yang. I'm probably saying it wrong because I know there's other ways of saying it. But yeah, I'm actually back here tomorrow on a power talk at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom. And then I'm back on Friday, unless I do another random stream while I work. But I probably won't. So I'll just do it at the weekends if I'm doing it. And that is going to be a hypnotic meditation, which I cannot remember, although I just created it yesterday. Yeah, I was looking for my search because I've got a membership of this audio and video, which I pay for. Like, I think I pay the yearly subscription, but it's a membership in other words. And the music you're listening to, I get it from there because it's copyright free. So I might get copyright challenged, and then I just gonna have to write to them, not literally by letter, but like I'd reply to the dispute and go, look, I got it from this place. And then they remove it eventually after 30 days or sooner. But in the same place, they have these kind of lots of different kind of videos, and I just was looking for energy space-ish ones. And I actually, Void, I typed into Void and got a couple of good ones, but I just chose free for this stream. For ease. Thank you very much. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you to everyone else who's been here in the chat. So I know Eric was here earlier. Karen was here. Obviously Jen, Mina, everyone else. Any lurkers out there. We've got 7 people watching. Now I'll be honest, one of them's me. But that means we've got 6 more. You really need to let yourself be known. Let us know in the chat. We're nice people most of the time. There's 1 or 2 I'm questionable in the chat right now. 1 or 2 questionable people who have written in the chat in the last few minutes. But on the whole, of course I'm kidding. So thank you everybody. I will be back tomorrow, as I said. I'm going to put the new outro screen because I edited. Yeah, the lurkers from the Void. Thank you, Jen. Have a great one. And I'll speak to you all soon. Many thanks and goodbye.